it's all pre-taped.
Hello, Mariela. Welcome
to
Diane's living room, live from Diane's living room, except for but we are local. So how are you?
Well, I'm doing very well. It's good to see you, Diane. Thanks for inviting me to your living room.
This is terrific. And Mariela Aguilar works for Arlington Public Library. And you were one of the first persons I met when I arrived here almost 15 years ago. And you were wearing red Chuck Taylor tennis shoes, and you were almost bouncing off the walls. And you were doing a lot of community outreach at the time. And I remember saying, I want to work in a place where this kind of energy happens. So welcome, thanks for joining me today. Can we talk a little bit about how you got to the United States and what your experience was, and then how it's informed how you are today as a children's librarian and a community leader?
Oh, well, thanks for the community leader. That's too kind. Well, thank you so much again for inviting me here and to share my story. It all started many years ago. And I'm originally from Central America. I became a librarian in Costa Rica. That's where I'm originally from. And I simply fell in love with the concept of public libraries in the United States because where I come from, they do not work as community libraries. I cannot say now what's happening because I've been living in this country 27 years, but at the time, public libraries worked mostly as school libraries, and only the people who went to school had access to those libraries, right? And they were not well funded neither. And I was very amazed when I read, when I started learning English, read about the concept of public libraries in the United States, which is completely unique because public libraries are a community library. That's the community's library. So it doesn't matter if you went to school or not. This is your library. This is the library where you will find information about for anything that, for example, the idea of having programs for the community, I was like, what? This is so exciting. This is so different. So I end up coming to the US. As I tell people, I came through the golden door because I came with a lot of privileges, as a student. When you come as a student, you have access to so much in education. And my idea of the United States changed when I came here, because at the time I just had the idea that all the United States, it was like Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
And it's not. And I fell in love with the real American. I really did. I was in a scholarship house with other students, and most of them, all of them, except another one who was from the Philippines. It was this lady from the Philippines, myself from Costa Rica. And they were all Americans from different parts of the United States and very poor areas. And I fell in love with not everyone lived like Hollywood, right? So
so let's fast forward a little bit, and you're now working for Arlington Public Library, and you've been working here for a long time. So what are the kinds of things, like what gets you out of bed in the morning and ready to start the day and do your job as a librarian?
Well, fast forwarding a little bit, I became a librarian, right? And I tried different things because I fell in love with the world of libraries in the United States is so big, and it's a profession that is recognized. And So I tried different things. I worked in an academic library when I was in school, and then I also work in special libraries. I also ended up working for an organization that works for librarians behind the scenes, and I was training librarians from Ohio in Latin America and the Caribbean, and I worked behind the scenes. But I wanted public libraries, right? So I worked at a Tampa Public Library, and that was 2 years, and it was great. But I after trying other libraries, I wanted to come back to public libraries, and Arlington Public Library hired me, and that was in 1999.
Oh, no.
And I was so excited coming back to public libraries because that was, as I said, my dream. I feel that also if I came to this country with such privileges, I needed to do something for the community.
Sure.
I needed to give back and work on my dream, which is public libraries,
Right.
and introduce people who came from other countries to this concept of public libraries that is totally foreign in so many countries, right? So so I was hired at Arlington Public Library as a community librarian, like outreach librarian. That was I started as in a branch where in South Arlington that was surrounded by a lot of the people from many countries, and it was a great territory to work. And
Remember when you used to go over to the Weenie Beanie in Shirlington, and you would pick up the day laborers, and you would, I don't know, walk them over to the Shirlington Library and get them signed up for library cards. And so I was just so curious, like, what motivated you to do that?
well, knowing that public libraries are for everyone, right? And I saw that they were not used by that some people that needed it very much, and I saw these gentlemen there waiting to get jobs, and I said, well, during the time that they don't have that work, they can come to the library and use the internet and get library cards. And we had videos in this branch that related to how to build things and stuff, so they can use them for their all to enhance their skills. And why not? So I came up with the idea of going to this place where these gentlemen gather, and those who didn't get a job for the day walk with me, and we arrived to the Shirlington Library, which was the closest to that location.
Right.
And we were able to provide library cards, and it was very exciting because right nowadays having a phone where they can WhatsApp their friends, right? It's common, but at the time the internet was not that common. We didn't have the smartphones of the time of nowadays. So providing internet access where they can email their friends or it was just unique. And some of them, were able to check out materials to learn English, because that's what we have. We have a lot of resources that people not even think of, such as learning English, right? Or other languages. But I'm saying, since I'm not a native English speaker, it's a great place to get materials to learn English.
Well,
and
before too long, I wanted to focus a little bit, because you've got such a personality. You have such a big heart. And what did that mean to you to be able to, as you said earlier, give back? How did that make you feel? And how did that motivate you to go even further with connecting with the community?
Well, I believe that in life we're given talents, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe that these talents, we have to use them for good, and we should not waste them, fact that I stayed here in this country and that I have these talents, I had to use them for good. And here I have an organization, an institution, the public library, that is allowing me to do that and have an impact in the community and connect with people that otherwise I would have not reached, and provide them resources for them to enhance their lives.
Right.
And through the library, through our resources, right, that we have. And that's the excitement of it all.
Let me just interrupt for a second, because you focus now several times on the resources. But what I'm trying to get at, Mariela, it's you, the way you connect with people, the way you make people feel welcome, the way you welcomed me when I was brand new as the director. And I've seen you in front of a crowd when you're doing tunes and tales of, 200, 300, and you make each person in that room, caregiver, child, parent, feel so welcome and seen. That's a remarkable, remarkable gift. And that you're doing it in the context of the library is great, but don't underestimate your capacity and your willingness to put yourself out there and connect with everyone, regardless of who they are, where they came from, what their income level is, what their background is. You are just, for me, the embodiment of what public libraries are about. And I'm sticking to that.
Well, thanks. I have to say, every human, every person, in my faith, is created at the image of God, and so valuable. It's precious. So I feel privileged. The love that you feel, that I give, is the love of God for you. And there is an extreme amount of love for absolutely everyone.
Right.
And it fulfills me if I can bring smiles to people.
Yes.
And not for my own, no, it's because it is exciting, it's fulfilling. We all think about, we'll think about, oh, my profession is gonna get me happy. Oh,
right.
If I have a house, I'm gonna be so happy. Oh, if I have an extra TV, I'm gonna be happy. Oh, if I have I don't know, like the education I wanted, I'm going to be happy. Well, no, sometimes what really makes you happy goes deeper.
Yes. Well, I was just going to say that heart of yours not only touches all of us, but it frankly enlarges all of us. It makes all of us bigger and better than we would otherwise be. And I think that gift that you give, and that it happens in this context of the library, and at this time, in a pandemic, in polarized politics, in straitened economic circumstances, so for so many in our community, and you've seen them, you've worked with them, you know how hard it is for some people to make rent and to find a job, and you've been able, frankly, during the pandemic, you've been invaluable to the communications team in the county manager's office, translating and doing video. I mean, you're becoming kind of a media star. So I don't even know where this is going to take you, but you've provided enormous comfort to the community, as I said, in a very difficult time. So as we close, I want to sing another song, and it's a song that you know very well. And if you want to kind of join in, or at least just go along with me, we'll see if we can make it happen. But it's been wonderful to see you again today. You make my heart sing every time I'm in your presence, and I think that's true of anybody who works with you. So let me grab the guitar and see if I can sort of, in a half-assed way, make this work.
Okay. Let's see if I can follow you.
Yeah, that's That's actually a good metaphor, but we can talk about that another time. So
Okay.
this is the goodbye train.
Choo choo!
Goodbye train is leaving, see you soon. Oh, the goodbye train is leaving, see you soon. Oh, the goodbye train is leaving, the goodbye train is leaving. Goodbye train is leaving, see you soon. Oh, we say goodbye to Mariela, see you soon. Oh, we say goodbye to Mariela, see you soon. Oh, we say goodbye to Mariela, we say goodbye to Mariela, we say goodbye to Mariela. See you soon. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you, Diane. See you soon. Thank you.